awful. So today we are putting in this 125 horsepower motor from a crotch rocket. Will it do wheelies or will it just fold the frame in half? I don't know, but I do know that it's going to be a death trap, and that's all I really care about. But first, we need to set some benchmarks, so after we have all this new horsepower, we know how much faster it is. Our first benchmark, how does it do in a drag race versus our limited edition RTR 8,000 watt electric pit bike? Available now at grindhardplumbingco.com. 3, 2, 1. Next up, a before and after for how well it burns out. Not as bad as I thought, but I think it's going to be a whole lot better with 125 horsepower.
125 horsepower?
Oh yeah, we haven't told you yet. Look at the motor behind you. What do you think?
Oh no. You lost your mind, Edwin.
That's a ZX6R, Chris. Time to see the true build quality of this machine. My favorite feature of this tractor, Chris, is that the exhaust just goes straight back to your kid's face. Tear everything off the front end of this tractor. Once we get the hood off, I'm gonna tell Chris what I paid for it. It's gonna hurt his soul. All that it took was a few screws and unplugging some wires for the hood to come right off. How much do you think I paid for it at Walmart?
$300.
$2,800.
What?
To get the engine out, we had to remove a few more wires, the headlight, and get the exhaust completely out of the way and into the trash because this is not going to have enough flow for the ZX6R. The exhaust would probably have enough pressure to blow this thing up. Well, you know what the good news is, Chris?
What?
If we need to lengthen the chassis, it'll be super easy. We can just sleeve these two tubes and lengthen the whole thing. And lengthen the chassis we will. Otherwise, the motor would be in front of the front axle, and that is not what you want. Well, that's quite an upgrade.
Look at that size difference.
Yeah. Alright, what sort of shenanigans are you... What are you doing working on that thing?
Oh!
I'm not in the shop for half of one Monday.
Yeah.
And this is what I come back to. I mean, it could be worse.
Oh yeah. Put a lime green premium sticker on it, the chain, and we're good to go.
And, you know, a lot of bracing. Like a very large amount of bracing. Wait. You just put that on there, right?
No, it came with the weed sprayer.
It came with a weed sprayer?
Yeah.
That is the most ridiculous thing ever.
This weed sprayer is about the same size as a fuel tank, like on the back of our mini Jeep there. We just take out this fuel pump, weld it into the bottom of one of those tanks, and that would look a lot better than having this ugly tank up front. But first... Hey! Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, if we extended it a foot, that would give us a lot more space.
While Chris and Edwin cleaned the paint off of the frame so that we could weld to it, I needed to make a couple of tubes to extend the frame, and we didn't have any tubing with the right internal diameter. So I took it over to the lathe and bored out about 1.5 inches on each end to the outside diameter of the existing frame rails so that it would slide on there and we could weld it all together, making it super strong and about 10 inches longer.
Yeah, this disc is getting small. I think it's Ferrari saw time. This thing is the most useful tool.
It's the most unexpectedly useful tool.
Every time that the cutting disc is a little too small, it's time to bring out the party device. We should just work exclusively with the Ferrari saw.
No. That's not a good idea. It's very useful for certain things.
With the frame all cleaned up and the extension tubes machined, it's time to put it back together, and I intentionally machined the tubes a little bit tight, so we had to hammer them on pretty significantly. But it was a bit of a pain to get it all straight, and to be honest, we don't know if this frame was straight to start with. Before I got back to the shop, Chris and Edwin, for some reason, decided it was a good idea to chop off the front bumper. So before we could do anything else, we had to tack that back on.
Look at that.
Stretched.
And until Edwin brought this up, I actually forgot we had this lying around.
I did not, but I was not planning on it going in anything this dumb. That's for sure. This poor engine has we've had it in two different projects, and it's only been the absolute worst.
But the double
this is the
go-kart
third.
was so much fun.
It was fun, but it was terrible.
I think we kept
Nothing
nothing
from the cart.
Just this.
Just the engine.
Yeah, we could call it the Super Lee.
No.
Heavy Dude Lee.
Is that really the best you can come up with?
The Shrek Polar.
The Green Goblin? The Kawa Tractor? I mean, it's green. You could just put some Shrek ears on it and just call it Shrek. It's going to be about as attractive as Shrek.
Oh!
Look, Shrek ears right here.
Yeah.
Now it's time to see how this engine fits in the newly extended frame. And right away, we noticed our first problem with this engine placement, which is there's not a lot of room for the steering to get around the engine to the front wheels.
Too bad Bluetooth steering isn't a real thing. That would solve so many problems.
A lot of bicycles these days have Bluetooth shifters.
Really?
Literally, yeah.
We need to suspend the engine in the air above the tractor so we can figure out how much room we need for the steering. So we busted out the chain hoist, hooked it to the rafter, and picked up the engine with that.
Can you imagine the burnouts it's gonna do?
Oh, it'll do some serious burnouts. This video is sponsored by Mando, and seriously, this stuff smells good and it works amazing. If you're the kind of person that has to reapply at lunch because you're working so hard, Mando is for you. Most deodorants just cover up the smell, but Mando stops odor-causing bacteria before they cause a stink. Mando is a brand new deodorant, and it's available at Walmarts nationwide. Just look for the orange, the exact color of this here snowcat. How convenient is that? When you guys support the sponsors, it really does support us too. And everybody needs deodorant, so go check it out. You're gonna like it. The Pro Sport scent is nice. It smells like fresh water and citrus. And it's quite simply just a deodorant that works every bit as hard as you do. Mando is supporting the channel in a big way this year, so you guys should definitely check it out. I think you're gonna like it. You can find it at Walmart or by clicking the link in our description. Fired it up and the throttle was stuck.
Oh no!
I hit the brakes and nothing happened.
Bjorn is like, I'm getting out of here.
No, he came in to check on it. Jesus.
Oh my.
What happened?
I fired it up and the throttle was just sticky. I hit the brakes and it didn't fix it.
Durability testing.
Computer's fine.
Looks like we lost the lens cover. Grindhard's iPhone's fine.
Oh yeah, the welder.
Oh no. Well, the welder is a little bit detached from reality, but the welding cabinet is pretty well.
Wow, that is hardcore. Man, so much destruction from 5 seconds of sticky throttle.
The only real casualty is we owe Steven a coffee.
Oh, I'm fine. It was mostly gone. I mean, that's
I can go
all
make
that was
some
left,
coffee.
really. So I don't
Wow.
need another coffee.
But I replaced the belt on that thing with one that was a little smaller because the other one had too much slack.
Oh.
So normally the high idle there wasn't a problem, but with the new belt, it just immediately launched. I'm just gonna start with a couple of simple arc droid cut, plate mounts for the back here. They won't have any lateral rigidity, but that's fine. They'll get the engine located and then we can add in some bracing later.
I cut these first engine mounts out with the arc droid out of some 3/16 steel, largely because that's what we have a lot of, but also because it's the right thickness to be strong without being super overkill. After the brackets are cut with the arc droid, we've got to knock the slag off with the air hammer, clean them up a bit with the grinder, and then fine-tune the diameter of the holes with the die grinder before we bolt them onto the engine. Once we got these engine mounts in place, I realized there was a little chunk of the old engine mount from the tractor's original engine in the way. So I had to cut a little chunk of that off to make room for the new engine mounts.
So we've got these mounts and these mounts. stiffen everything up. We can use the engine as part of the chassis in a sense, in that this section of chassis isn't very strong, but if we tie it up to here and back to there, then it all makes itself more rigid.
For the front engine mounts, I made a style that I've been a fan of for many years. Basically, you take a short piece of tube, weld a thick washer onto one end, and then bolt that to the engine, which makes a super strong point to attach a piece of tube. Once I had the mounts welded up and bolted to the engine, I just had to cut a couple of short pieces of tube, notch them, and weld them into place, and it makes a super strong, super simple engine mount.
Now the engine is at least somewhat mounted. Now, next big thing is jack shaft. Luckily, we have all sorts of bits and pieces for this in our stash. We have a mountain of sprockets of all different sizes. So I'm starting with like a sort of medium-sized sprocket there. Chain from the engine output to that. That'll give us a good bit of gear reduction. And then smallest sprocket I could find on this side going to this big sprocket back here. You multiply those two gear reductions together and we should have a nice, good bit of torque and not a totally ridiculous top speed. But the great thing is we can swap it all around if we need to. It's a nut. What is that doing there? Like a walnut or something. That's one tough nut to crack. Yeah, I think that's a black walnut. This thing must have lived under a black walnut tree at some point in its life. Yeah. Just a little bit longer so that I can get this farther back, because where it's at, it's a little too close to the engine. And the farther it gets from this, the weaker it is, so. A bearing mount designed, cut it out, be that much closer to a jack shaft. Just adding some little braces in here out of random scraps I had laying around. Is it pretty? Not really. Is it perfect? Definitely not. Will it work? Yup. Figure I got the engine mounted and the jack shaft made. Those are the two most difficult parts. Next up is the steering. We'll just work our way from difficult to not difficult. I've got another U-joint that'll fit onto the rack and pinion here. And then I have a piece of tubing. Cut a chunk off of this, bore it out a little bit so that it'll fit over this stub. Now, I just need to find something to fit into there, a little stubbity nubbin that I can weld onto that one. This is going to be the little stub, and it'll fit into that. This is an extremely tight fit on there, so I hammered that on there and then used the die grinder to grind out a spot for the bolt. So between the fact that it'll be pinched on there with the bolt and the fact that it's got a flat spot where the bolt is, it might be enough without actually welding it. Yep, that'll work. It's so funny when the geese start yelling at Edmund.
It really is only him.
Yeah.
Is Garage Goose's honker a little messed up?
I don't know, dude. Everything about that goose is a little messed up.
Everyone else goes, and he goes,
I'm pretty sure that goose had a stroke or something. Like,
oh no.
half of its whole body just doesn't seem to work quite right. This thing is not the most dangerous thing we've ever built, for sure, but it's definitely up there.
What do you think is the most dangerous thing we've ever built?
I mean, there's no way that the CBR 1000 Ruckus is not like the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gotta be.
Because that thing, not only do you have 180 horsepower in a scooter,
Yeah.
but also it might just break in half at any moment because part of it is just relying on like a cast aluminum subframe that's scooter size.
The next thing to figure out was the throttle, which was pretty simple. I just had to dig through my pile of random cables and find the right length, throw a couple of ends on it, and I was able to use the original tractor throttle pedal and pretty much the whole system there. Then it was time to fit a radiator. Once I had a rough idea of where the radiator was going to go, I had to dig through my piles of random hoses, and it's surprising how rare this is, given the name of our channel, but...
Radiator. Plumbed. Mounted? No. But plumbed? Yes. Close enough for a first start, anyway.
Well, of course, no tractor pull is complete without a sled. And this is the original trailer I bought for it, which I'm pretty sure is the cheapest trailer money can buy. It's extremely flimsy. Well, stood up to that. It's so flimsy on the tongue of this, I can bend it with my bare hands. And if you put any kind of wood in here or whatever, it'll just tip over. I think it'll work for at least 30 seconds, don't you?
Yeah, probably.
30 seconds is all we need, man.
I have no idea what we bought this for, but it's been floating around in the random levers pile for years. Brand new. It's overly complicated, clearly, but it'll work. See, problem is that takes up too much cable length on that end.
Next up was setting up the clutch, but the problem is, in all of our random cables, I couldn't find one that was just the right length. So I had to make a little extension to get the cable to reach on both ends.
Basically, I'm just making a little nubbin to extend this cable so it can actually reach where it needs to go. So, you can see I'm just made that to hold on to the end of the cable. Now I just need to make a little extender that goes to there. Cable extender. Imagine how excited Edwin's gonna be if this thing can do a wheelie.
Oh man, he's gonna lose his mind.
I haven't actually sat in this before. This is gonna be absolutely horrifying in so many ways.
It was terrifying just regular.
Yeah.
Because you always felt like you were going to tip over.
I was just thinking maybe we could just do a foot shifter like a bike would have.
Oh, yeah.
And have it be easier, but then we still need the clutch. And if you have to take your hand off the steering wheel for the clutch, you might as well use that for the shifter, because then you can use the foot brake.
Oh, yeah.
They look smaller than I was.
I know, I was expecting them a little bit bigger.
Match your hat.
Oh, with my white hat, it works, doesn't it? Let's go.
See, that's like a happy Shrek. This is more like a sad Shrek. I think it looks
Yeah, better
better
as a
there.
sad Shrek.
I don't know why, but like here,
Yeah.
it just doesn't look right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he is a sad Shrek. It's like the meme. Look at that, Shrek colored.
Yeah, not bad. I've got a push rod for the shifter here. I'm gonna make a little shaft that's gonna go from this side over to that side, and then a lever. I'm just gonna use a couple of Heim joints for the pivots. It's real easy, I can just bolt them right into a little tab.
Because I'm somewhat of a hoarder, I was able to find a couple of tabs in a random drawer of spare parts. It worked perfectly to hold the Heim joints. And this allows the shifter to be on the right side of the tractor, even though it's on the left side of the engine, because it would be super weird to try and shift with your left hand. Then I just had to find a little chunk of 7/8 inch pipe to bolt the clutch lever to, because standard handlebar size for motorcycles is 7/8.
I mean, it doesn't think there's fuel in it, which is, you know, because there isn't, but it turned on and it cranks.
And this leads me to believe that if we put a little bit of fuel in this tank, it should just run.
Oh, hey! Oh, man! Wow! How about that? How about that? We had just enough fuel in there, just a drippity drop. We know what we needed to know. It runs.
Yeah.
So we can just abandon that fuel tank.
See,
Yeah,
and it's gonna get dirty like that in the front. And it's right when Fiona finally convinces him to take his helmet off, and she's like, "You're ogre."
I love that you know what part of the movie the memes are from.
Well, yeah.
Dude, just think about how many times Edwin has watched that movie just while we've been on road trips, not counting the rest of his life. It's enough to memorize the damn thing.
We do own all the Shrek movies on our YouTube account for that reason, and they're all downloaded offline on my phone. But the next road trip, I'm going to bring the iPad so we can all enjoy it a little more easily.
We?
Yeah. Brake cleaner chocolate? What's brake cleaner chocolate? No way.
It's a chocolate brake clean can.
Whoa!
Dude, Chris is gonna lose his mind.
Wow! He's gonna eat the whole thing in a day.
When it gets tough in the garage, reach for the brake cleaner. When it gets tough in the heart, reach for chocolate.
That's amazing. Yeah, we gotta say that.
say that, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah.
Wow! Like it was meant for it. Hey, this is an expansion you could use even if you keep it factory. There's one-star review saying, I couldn't get it started, so I sent to customer support, and there'd been an aftermarket security system installed on it that they don't sell from the factory. And mine came with that, and once I made the video on it, they removed it from Walmart. So I'm pretty sure I bought the only one that had already been returned once before.
That's amazing.
Otherwise, why would mine also have this?
Who knows?
This is rare.
Well, now it's truly kind of a one of one.
You don't say.
I should send this to the company. Like,
No.
Try to track them down on WeChat.
This company does not need encouragement.
Be like, all right, guys, if you just make it a little bit faster, I think the children will give you better reviews on Walmart.com.
We need to adapt the fuel pump from the motorcycle to this new aluminum fuel tank. Because the fuel tank is round and the fuel pump's flange is flat, we can't just weld a flat piece of aluminum onto the bottom. So it's time for the most complicated part of this whole project, and that is taking this super thick chunk of aluminum and turning it into a custom flange that'll adapt from a round fuel tank to a flat 5-bolt flange for the fuel pump.
Realistically, it doesn't need to be quite this thick, but it does need to be fairly thick to deal with the curve of the bottom of the tank.
You know, Edwin, it occurred to me that putting this good of an engine in something like this would be like casting a big name actor to play like an animated bunny.
What you're saying is it's kind of like when, actually Michael Jordan shows up in the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, or I guess there are big name actors in Shrek. Like Eddie Murphy, right? He
Yeah.
plays Donkey. Okay, so I guess it is like that.
It's not on Walmart anymore, but it is on Tractor Supply for $2,500. An average of 2 out of 5 stars.
That's generous.
Absolute garbage, 1 star. This thing is made out of pot metal with poor quality welding, paint, parts, everything. Tractor Supply should be ashamed of themselves. This is downright un-American to sell this junk. Yes! Here's the second review for the mini tractor. From Haley, 1 star, do not buy. Do not buy, all caps. Purchased this for my son for Christmas and 4 days later it stopped working. Here's another 1 star. Lasted a week, don't waste your money. At first he was excited because he was going to get to do farm work. Oh no. Don't buy this tractor, guys, it's a bad idea. Tractor Supply, man. Amazon delisted it, Walmart delisted it. Get with the times. No one should purchase this product.
The fuel pump attachment bung is finished.
Wait, can I have that for a second?
It's very satisfying, isn't it?
Yep. Okay, that's what I was checking.
Got a groove cut in there for the seal. And all the holes are drilled and capped. Fuel pump fits, which is a key factor. It's not perfectly symmetrical, and that's just because the piece of metal I was working with wasn't quite big enough. Now we'll just disrespect this brand new fuel tank.
Access granted.
I kind cut out the rough size of the hole with a jigsaw and then fine-tuned it with a die grinder. Working with aluminum is really interesting because it's soft enough that you can cut it with just about any type of saw.
Bada bing, bada boom. Welded. Very, 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 very hot. Might have gone a little overboard with the water cooling. Now it's soggy. Cool it down, heat it up. Cool it down, heat it up. It'll evaporate the rest of that water. Now we can assemble it.
It's starting to feel real how incredibly sketchy this machine is going to be. We've got 125 horsepower, 14,000 RPM engine. We've got steering, we've got brakes, we've got a shifter, the fuel tank is mounted. All we have to do is run the fuel lines, plug everything in, put some fuel in it, and this little tiny, terrible children's tractor from China is ready to do things it was never designed for.
Are you ready to have your eardrums blown out in the most beautiful way possible?
Yeah. Oh, I think I have my earplugs in my truck from yesterday.
Imagine it'll take a while for the fuel to get all up in there.
I'm scared.
You should be. Everybody in this thing's vicinity should be scared. Man, that engine just sounds so good.
Street bikes are just the best things. If only they didn't kill you and made you stronger instead.
Just one final step before we can put this thing to the test. We've got to mount the ignition and all the other wiring components, and then it's time for this little thing to rip.
I wonder what the speed rating of these,
They don't have a speed
junk
rating.
A1 is what they're called. I never noticed that. Junk AI.
I would pronounce it Junkai, but you know, you're right. It is
Yeah.
junk AI.
Wow.
Not for highway service. So they just don't even have a speed rating.
We could durability test those quite easily with this rig.
I think we're about to.
Oh boy. I'm already getting nervous. This is gonna be crazy. Since we don't have a front brake situation, we'll have to do the same that we did at the beginning of the video, but with a much heavier duty strap, because the little cam strap might not hang out with what's about to go down.
Oh boy.
I have a very strong feeling which version of this tractor is going to win the burnout contest. It's so loud, it hurts even with the earplugs in.
That was a 6th gear burnout.
Wow. Well, I guess we gotta go test this thing outside, see what it can do the drag race, and then for the grand finale, see what it can pull with our little tractor pull trailer. I think it's gonna wheelie! You see how light the front looks? I swear it almost wheelied in the pavement and he wasn't even trying yet. Oh, it sounds savage!
Imagine hearing that sound and then seeing that thing.
The tractor at home. The tractor at home. Oh, man. It doesn't want to go straight, man. It just has so much power.
He always drives such a savage.
This is just the neck snapper 9000. Look at where it hits. Right in the middle of the neck. So as soon as you go back, you full throttle, it just
Oh
breaks your head off.
I saw that you were almost wheeling coming up here.
Yeah, I don't think it would take much to get it to wheelie, but I do not want to find out. Doing a wheelie with the neck snapper 9000 seems like a bad idea.
It's so crazy from a driver's perspective. You have this little tiny children's steering wheel and the beast of all motors, and you don't see anything else except for a half an inch of Shrek ear.
Oh, what have we done, Ethan?
Created a monster again. Also, it is way louder standing next to it than on top of it.
Is it?
On top of it, the sound's going out away from you, and out here, it's sometimes just going right at your eardrums.
Is it bad that I actually feel extremely confident driving this thing?
Yes, that is bad.
As long as you give yourself a lot of time to slow down and steer, it's not all that bad.
It's not. What's scary is that that's first gear of 6.
Look how bent out the brake already is just from us pushing it a few times.
Yeah, it's
Even this thing at neutral without the clutch in, it overpowers the brake.
there you go. Fixed tight.
This is the most terrifying thing you could possibly imagine. It takes all of your energy just to control the beast.
Here, I'm gonna let some air out of your tires. You might be able to wheelie then.
Oh, that's a great idea. If you're pointed just slightly the wrong direction and you get on it, it just washes you to where it wants to go. So our drag racing strip has melted a little bit, but I think there's just enough snow for that and just enough mud for this. This should be interesting. Which one do you want to drive, Ethan?
I'll take the snow bike.
All right.
I don't know if I'm surprised or not about the outcome.
This is a little bit closer of a race than I thought.
You've turned down to dirt and made your launch better?
Yeah.
I've gone down to ice and made mine worse.
Oh no.
That looked like another one for the snow bike.
Good work. You crushed it. I think before we do the tractor pull, we should see how this thing trundles through the wilderness. I mean, it is a tractor after all.
It's gonna be probably one of the worst slow speed crawling machines we've ever built. I can guarantee that.
Let's find out.
Tractor man's got his tractor gear on.
All good tractors need to be able to go through the woods and grab firewood, you know, so we're gonna try that out. Time to get some firewood.
I think the clutch lever might just not have returned all the way.
Oh. Well, I don't think I'm getting up this hill regardless. I'll pick up the firewood from the drag racing path.
So much for your trundling through the woods.
Yeah, you're right. I should give it another go.
That's not what I was trying to say, but sure.
Tractor durability test or a $100 trailer durability test?
It's an eardrum durability test.
That's what it truly is. Oh yeah. They're on the aircraft carriers and they're wearing this stuff and they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah! Oh, Einstein loves this.
You know how most people you take more seriously when they're in that kind of equipment?
Yeah, it's the opposite with Edwin.
With Edwin, it is the opposite.
Oh, well, the wheel was spinning really fast and the tire wasn't.
That's funny.
So that's why I turned this way. It's a little deeper than I thought. I don't think there's any chance. But it's still a lot better than it ever was. So it's 100% an improvement all around.
It's not hard to improve when your starting point is basically 0.
Yep. It's like, you know, if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you fall on the stars. It's like,
You land in the stars.
Yeah.
But yeah.
it's kind of like that if you start like.
You know,
off
but
as
the reality
worst.
is if you shoot for the moon and miss, you're never going to hit anything ever. If you shoot for the moon and miss, the odds of running into any piece of matter in the universe are so slim as to not matter.
Yeah.
That thing is so much worse than I thought.
Time for Grindhard Plumbing Company's very first tractor pull. All right, Dad, you ready?
Ready?
This tire didn't even spin.
I see that. Oh, look, I mean, he moved it 4 inches.
Oh yeah, look at that evidence.
Man, I wish Chris could be here to see this. Could you imagine the look of disapproval on his face?
It would be a sight to behold.
There'd be a lot of Edwin.
He's like, we're done now. Let's go work on the serious projects. 0 PSI. Second attempt with 2 tires.
Congratulations, Edwin. You've commissioned the world's worst pulling tractor.
That's the beauty of this kind of Chang Li situation, is I can lose even though I'm only competing against myself. Not a lot of competition's that premium. I moved a little bit.
You moved a foot.
Huh? Huh? I don't even know if I could move the trailer.
There. We'll just take out a couple pieces at a time so you can move.
Okay.
This is really sad. I expected this thing to be really, really bad, and it has exceeded all of my expectations.
1, 2, 3.
No one has ever been happier to succeed at a game they invented with rules that they also invented while competing against literally no one.
Probably the happiest man this side of the Mississippi right now.
I call it a massive success. You could plow your driveway, put potholes in your driveway, and kind of jankily rake spray your driveway.
Yeah. In answer to your question of how great is that, I can think of something greater.
Nice.
Well, I'd say we should do a tug of war with the guppy, but I mean, we all know how that's gonna end.
Let's do it. That's one of the more ridiculous things we've done in a minute.
You put up more of a fight than I expected, but that's hilarious.
Oh, we should tell Chris that that was our launch.
Oh yeah, he'll totally believe that.
Edwin? What?